What's going on, you guys? I'm coming to you today with Ryan Kingston's fleet builder. I'm building an Armada fleet for Wave 7, and I'm doing a different type of Raddus build. Some of my discussion lately has been about, I think there's a lot of potential for profundity, and I'm going to try to do something different than profundity. I'm actually not using an MC75, so I'm using a lot of older stuff, and I wanted to go with a kind of a high activation list. So let's talk about my flagship. My flagship is going to be the CR90B. I'm going to put Raddus on there, and we are also going to give the highly coveted heavy ion emplacements. I do plan on picking up a second MC75, so I'm going to toss out another CR90B also with heavy ions. I think that's kind of going to be just a really stronger ship now than it was before, especially if you can get double arcs. You have more chances to do it. So I like it a lot. It's also kind of a cheaper ship, so if it does get in a little bit close and takes some damage, it's totally survivable. I think even if you're not using Raddus, I think Mon Mothma on the CR90B with heavy ions will also be really good. But Mon Mothma's always been really good for the Rebels, so that much is great. So what else are we going to add? So let's add some more stuff here. One of the things I'd like to add is I want to add some Corvettes, some Hammerhead Corvettes. Now I really like the Hammerhead Corvette here with going, basically gunnery team, spinal armament, and adding the wonderful Wave 6's disposable capacitors. And this kind of gives me a nice firing line that I can get 3 dice at long range, 4 dice if I concentrate fire, but then 5, then even more than that, if we got our blue for, oh no, stay. More than that if we got our blue with disposable capacitors, so we can really get a lot of damage out there, and we can do that on multiple ships with gunnery teams. So it's just another really cheap way to get some effective firepower out there. And I'm going to double that. I'm going to do 2 of those. So I have 2 CR90Bs, 2 Hammerhead Corvettes. So I've got my long range guys right here. Then I've got my close range guys right here. Now we're already at 4 activations, and we're only at 242 points. Now, what is Raddus going to be used for? Well, Raddus is going to be used for the cheapest ship I could think of that would still give me some even more absurd advantage. So I'm going with an MC80 Star Cruiser. It comes in at only 96 points. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to make this one kind of light, but I did want a large ship in the build. For one, it's aesthetically pleasing. It's nice to see a big ship. But for 2, I'm going to go with the Strategic Advisor on this ship. The Strategic Advisor is a great thing, and it's going to basically give me even more potential activation advantage. So giving me a lot of flexibility there. I definitely like that. I'm going to give him the SW7 ions just because he's got a lot of blue dice, and I want that to be guaranteed damage, so I can basically warp him in. I'm keeping them lighter on points, though. I could, there's a lot more room to put things, but we're just going to put that one right there, and we have a little bit of points left. So what I'm going to do with the rest of my points is I'm going to actually add some squadrons and a carrier. I'm going to go with actually a GR75. I'm going with a combat retrofit this time just because it's going to factor into some of my objectives. If I end up doing opening salvo, I want a lot of ships that can shoot, so the GR75 will be fun for that. And then I'm going to go with a couple of Z95s, so I get a decent number, at least I'll have a decent number of squadrons. So I'll go with 4 of those, so that's 2 squadron deployments. It definitely makes up for, having a ship not on the board at the beginning. So right now I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 total ships, and of course I'll have 1 off at the beginning of the game. So it's 6 activations. It's potentially 7 activations with Strategic Advisor. I can stall 1, and then I've got the Z95s as well. So that gives me 2 more deployments. Let's look at the objectives here. So definitely talked about this already. I want to use opening salvo. I want to have as many shooters as possible. That's going to be really, really nice, especially if I am able to have these CR90Bs go first, weaken the shields with their heavy ions, paving the way for the Hammerheads to come in and really chuck some dice. So that will be fun. So let's go for our yellow. I think I'm going to go with Fleet Ambush here. Now the reason I want to do Fleet Ambush For one, I don't have anything strategic in here, so I can't really manipulate objective tokens. So Fleet Ambush is going to allow my opponent to have some ships much closer to me, and that's going to give Raddus the advantage there. So if they have ships that are closer to me, I can set a CR-90B, and it doesn't have to be Raddus. It can be maybe be this other one. I can set him up, deploy him at speed 4, go forward, and then end up dropping my MC-80 at the beginning of turn 2, cutting off their escape, or being maybe behind multiple different ships, and just having, I'm not, with 399 points, I'm not going to be first player. Let's not kid ourselves. So I'll be second player, no problem. I couldn't activate, him first anyway, so that doesn't even matter. So like the downgrade of Raddus is, oh, you can't do it. It can't be the first ship to activate this round. Well, it won't be, because I'm going high points. I'm going to try and get everything. As a matter of fact, you can even throw another 1-point upgrade on one of these ships. But I'll stick with 399 just in case I decide I want to be first player. There's nothing wrong with having that flexibility also in case I happen to go up against a 400-point build. Next up, navigation. I'm going to go with Solar Corona here because I'm going to potentially start with one ship off the board. Solar Corona is just overall good. Fleet Ambush is also good, but while I do have the 2 CR-90Bs that would be kind of good, not Fleet Ambush, but rather... superior positions. Well, also, CR-90s are good for superior positions. My Hammerheads are really not, and they're also very vulnerable to that. So I'm not really feeling too strong about that one. So I think Solar Corona is going to be a little bit better also with the GR-75. And one of the reasons I wanted a lot of ships too is that it gives, the more ships you have, the more flexibility Raddus has on where you want to put stuff, because it doesn't have to be next to any specific ship. It can be anywhere next to one of your ships. So, I can have this CR-90 go one way, this CR-90 go another way. The Hammerheads will probably go for like the slow approach. And then the GR-75 can, hang out with some squadrons. Like, I don't even really care if the GR-75 gets blown away, because that's not that big of a deal. And you don't really even have to go with opening salvo here. You could potentially, because granted, you're going to have one ship off the board, so you kind of hurt yourself a little bit, because, that MC-80 isn't going to benefit with opening salvo, but that's okay, because I could potentially, oh goodness, where we go? Where are we going? Here we go. I could potentially go, very easily go with Most Wanted here as well. I just have a feeling Most Wanted may not be as strong as you normally see, because like typically you want to pick somebody else's big ship. But in the case of you doing a mirror match going up against another Raddus, they can have their big ship not start on the board, and then you can't target it. So that's kind of why I go with opening salvo, even though it does give your opponent some benefit as well. I really like being able to roll them black dice, at long range if I do so please. So let me know what you think, guys. I'm just trying to come up with different ways to use Raddus right now, and I think having a lot of ships on the board, a lot of small fast ships, maximizes his flexibility. Going with the cheaper MC-80 also kind of, you don't need as many defensive things on it to make sure that you are that you're going to stay alive, because I'll be able to put him out of somebody else's firing arc. I can put him right behind the Star Destroyer if I want, or something like that. So that's kind of what I'm going for here. Let me know what you think. There is another round of the giveaway going on right now, and it's for a $20 Cool Stuff gift card, so you can get an expansion of your choice or put it towards Legion or something like that. And the only thing you need to do to enter that is to be a subscriber and leave a comment on this or one of my videos. And it's as simple as that, guys. If you like this video, I appreciate the support. Give this thing a like or a thumbs up. And, let me know in the comments what you think, what maybe you would do differently. Are you excited about Wave 7? Let me know. Thank you guys again so much. Make sure you subscribe. Click the little bell for alerts so you don't miss out on any other new content I have coming for you. And, again, thanks so much for watching, and have a great day.